Here's more water filtering talk. I just recently went on a pack rafting trip where I rafted down about 20 miles and hiked back about 13. And then for water on that trip, obviously being on a river, I could use pretty much any kind of filter system I wanted. So I went with my go-to, it's fairly new to me, a gravity filter that I made out of basically an MSR Autoflow system that I had purchased, the gravity filter. But I replaced the bag with a cuben or DCF dry bag, and it worked out really well. So I'll get into that in a minute. But first, I just wanted to quickly talk about the Be-Free, which is just a huge, miserable failure for me. I've tried it twice now, 2 different filters, and they both clogged up. Using filtered water, and when I'm out in the field, nice, clean, flowing streams. I couldn't detect any silt or any particles or anything that would have clogged it. I get back home, follow directions, clean it out. I've tried vinegar, I tried bleach, soaking it in water for upwards of 6 months before my next trip. Back flushed it, even used a syringe, which they say not to do, but at one point I gave up and tried that. I even back flushed it with this water here. I tried OxyClean, soaking it in that. I tried everything, and all they do, you know, put it on there, squeeze it. I literally couldn't get more than a drop or 2 out. They just clog up for some reason, and I totally don't understand it. But I just love this system. It's so much easier than filling Sawyer bags. And no, I don't want to use a cut-off Ziploc bag to scoop up and then to pour it through that little hole. I'm not doing that. I refuse to do that. The NOC, that C&OC, I think you pronounce it, those bags with the zip top, I don't want to mess with those. I just like this quick, easy bag that the Be-Free, that Cat and I made. I love it. I hate the filter. So I had this great idea then to pair it up with my Sawyer Mini for this pack rafting trip. Since I'm sitting on the water for hours at a time, it's nice just to reach down, scoop water, and drink right away. So what I did, since I obviously gave up on this filter, I just detached the filter part itself from the Be-Free filter. It just leaves me with a basically just a regular bottle thread on top. So that way, you know, I could just fill up. This lid here, thread on the Sawyer Mini, which I never really liked in the past so much, but I'm gonna give it another shot because coming from this Be-Free, which was basically reduced to 0 flow, this thing's a couple years old. Haven't used it a lot because I wasn't impressed with the flow rate, but again, compared to the Be-Free, let's see what we have here. That does fine. And that 600 milliliter bag, I could probably empty that whole thing if I filled it up in maybe a minute. So nice for a quick, easy drink. And that worked out. That was just phenomenal on this trip. Actually, it's probably the only filter I could have taken, would have gotten by. Rolled up in a nice tight package there. So let me move on to the cuben or the DCF bag that I made. I just feel like gravity is the way to go. It's just so easy, it's fast, and I'll show you here, it's lightweight. This whole thing weighs 4.45 ounces. That's not even 5 ounces. I've got these little rubber caps on the ends to keep the water from leaking out. Not a huge deal, but I like it. Again, this is from the MSR Autoflow. Platypus makes one. It's basically the same filter. I took the little rubber caps off on the end, so if it doesn't look familiar, that's why. This is my Hammock Gear Dyneema dry bag. Not sure which size. I think they called it the medium. I don't know what that equates to in liters. I'm guessing 10 liter, 8 or 10, something like that. Piece of hose again from the Autoflow, the little shut off. I'm guessing we've got maybe 30 inches of hose there. And this is just a little bulkhead fitting that I received on Amazon. I think it cost me $8. So real easy, nice and lightweight. Just attach it to the dirty water side there. Fill it up and let it flow. I suppose I can give a quick test here. Didn't really plan on this, but speed things up here. And basically that's all there is to it. You know, roll it closed like a dry bag. Clip it shut and hang that from a tree. And we'll see if we get any. Trick with these, just just get all the air out of the line. Kind of just tap the hose and. Just a quick back flush here. It'll dry it out since I cleaned it. That's all there is to it. Hopefully it's on camera here, you can see that. And that's a very, very fast flow on this. I love this filter. And you can see it's pushing the water out of there. I mean, it's a super fast filter. I think this is rated at 1 or 1.75 liters per minute, which is great. I'm not in a rush, but why would you give up that convenience? I mean, just scoop up the water out of the river, hang it in a tree, and click that little switch, and look at that thing, blowing water straight up. Awesome filter. So again, that's 4.45 ounces, call it 5 ounces wet. And another thing I like about this Autoflow filter, blow some of the water out there. On the dirty end, well, both ends you can take apart, but on the dirty end, I like to open that up, especially when I get home. You can see the fibers inside there. Sometimes you can even see if there's any gunk. But you just kind of fill that up and let it soak with a little bit of water and bleach if you want. And then you can shake it out better. You can also just set it on the counter and it'll dry out a lot quicker or more thoroughly than having that tiny little hole. So I really like that. Awesome filter. This thing's years old, probably 3 years old, and I want to say the flow rate slowed down maybe a little bit, but negligible really, as you can see in that test I just did. And then when I get home, it's nice. I get the flow. I'll usually this water filter is really nice too. It's a 3-stage filter, so it's nice clean water. I just kind of hold it on there, and I'll blow through about maybe a liter, and then I'll flip it around to back flush it. Maybe 30 seconds or so, another liter or two, just to get it nice and clean. And take this off, shake it out, let it dry. So that's pretty much that's my go-to system. I don't think I'll ever change that. But on certain trips, if it's really hot and I need a lot of water quick or often, I might take this in addition to this. I mean, this whole kit's still probably only 6-7 ounces total, maybe 8. Having both of these. This is just nice for a quick scoop and drink. And then roll it back up, put it in my pocket, put it in a pack, whatever. Instead of having to set up the gravity system, which really isn't slow, but it's just so much more convenient to use something like this. If I was really in a pinch and lightweight, I could just take this and you could drink right out of a stream like this. Blow it all out there, but you can drink right out of that if you really had to, or put a piece of hose on it, or whatever. And I could probably even cut out this filter and use the mini instead, as a, attach that to the hose and use that as a gravity system. But I just trust these less than MSR, so the size and weight's not much different, so I'm just sticking with the MSR. Yeah, that's about it.